Since people seem to like my video about watching One Piece Season 1, or One Piece Live Action Season 1 for the first time with no context, thank you again, by the way, for clicking, keep doing that, I decided to check out Season 2. And ironically, I feel like I've been shattered into a million pieces.
Copyright disclaimer.
It's fine. I'm glad I know now that snail phones are telepathic, but none of you warned me. That being said, forgive the lack of funny intro. I just watched season 2 of the Netflix One Piece live action series, still with no context from the anime, and we're gonna be breaking it down, talking about it, hanging out, and ideally having some fun. I'm a part of this now, and y'all better click. Like, share, comment, subscribe, Patreon, gaming channel plug, blah. I do accept apologies in the form of donations. Maybe use it as a vehicle to apologize. All right, we're focusing. Season 2 not only ramps everything up, but it widens the scope of literally everything. We went from a couple of villages or a mansion needs our help to whole countries. I really like that escalation. And even the powers are getting more intricate. Mommy, sorry. I talked a lot in my season 1 video about how the beginning of the One Piece live action series does a great job setting you up for its world building. And I think that's a testament to the world building that we can start with Magic Mommy. Sorry, Magic Mommies. The one in the cowboy hat has the power of illusions, but wait, also hand stuff? She was made for me. Sorry for the gaming channel reference, plug. But seriously, I don't know what her power is, and I kind of really like it. By no means is it confusing. It's mysterious, intriguing. It's a great way to start season 2. First I thought illusions and it wasn't real, but the hand stuff can grab things. It makes me wonder if there's like a way to level up your devil fruit power, or if it's a combination of powers. Either way, it wasn't confusing. It was mysterious and intriguing. And a little hot. Either way, it feels like it's on another level, and I love adding that. That's basically this whole season is on another level. Especially since the 3 baddies are agents of Baroque Works. They stormed the Marine base from season 1 where Zoro was captured to recover the body of Mr. 7. I didn't think Mr. 7 was gonna be set up for season 2 and season 3. A nice little nugget that carries over from season 1. So the 3 magic baddies, Mr. 5, Miss Valentine, and Miss All Sunday are searching for the body of Mr. 7. Turns out they're all assassins from Baroque Works for this mysterious Organization 13 that works for Mr. Zero. Won't lie, that's a pretty cool villain name. I also really like that our big bad behind the scenes has already tried to recruit Zoro, even before he joined the most dangerous wanted pirates in the East Blue, the Straw Hats, who are out of pepper? Out of lots of supplies, it turns out. Despite those sexy secret assassins on my mind, Sanji getting mad at Usopp for taking all of his pepper to make sneeze ball pellets perfectly encapsulates what I love about our crew and this story. Despite the victories in season 1, we're still figuring out how to be a successful pirate crew. And before their dangerous trip into the Grand Line through a mountain? First, we have to resupply and get our fill of character banter and group dynamics. I really appreciate taking a little time to still feel that victory lap after season 1. Oh yeah, and Zoro also needs new swords. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I'm like, maybe he went down to 1 sword. No, put that sword in your mouth. My king needs his swords. As we get more and more connected with these characters, I love the organic little things that keep coming up. We need to get food. Zoro needs to allocate funds for the sword budget. Like they're growing up while keeping all of the fun about. I really like how grounded our early problems were. Also, does Zoro even need new swords when he's got those guns? Sorry. And in true One Piece fashion, just like we did for every feared and dangerous pirate in season 1, Luffy's introduction with his wanted poster I was so proud of him. I don't know how to describe it. Our little man's growing up as he continues his quest to become king of the pirates and finally finding Gold Roger's treasure on the One Piece. Turns out the nearest town to resupply is Logtown, the very place where we saw Gold Roger dare the world to find his treasure with his final breath. Much like Monkey D. Luffy himself, I was also giddy with excitement. Give me some lore, give me more backstory. We don't know that much about Gold Roger. I know his treasure's out there somewhere, and I know his name. We see a flashback of Gold Roger talking to Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp, Luffy's surprisingly strong grandpa, before his final bow, we'll say. Click those things. Daddy needs AdSense. All things considered, Mr. Gold seems at peace. Like, was he tired of running? Wait a minute. No, he was sick. That seems important for later. Wait, he has a son? Is Luffy his son? It seems too obvious for me to assume it's Luffy, but right, the laughing. I thought the connection was like Luffy inspires people like Gold Roger did or something, But are they related? It also made me realize I don't know how Luffy got into the care of his grandpa and then from there to the town where Shanks would visit. We don't know anything about Luffy or Gold Roger. Does Luffy have a son? Unsurprising if you saw my season 1 video, I love the set as we go through the town. There's also a great morbidly funny tourist vibe to the town, especially with Luffy who wants to see the site of Gold Roger's farewell speech. It fit Luffy's character so well to see him like asking where Times Square is, like that kind of energy. It was perfect. Silly as it is, you also know that he wants to honor and pay his respects, right? He's not gonna, what's that meme? This is a safe space, right? After the post-credit scene in season 1, I didn't think I was gonna vibe with Two Cigar Man, but I was really surprised. I need to stop doubting. I really liked Smoker's introduction. I love the way it was shot. It like kept things tight at first. So you could kind of get used to the 2 cigars before we see like the band of it on his arm. Like it was a nice intro and a great way to frame the larger than life character, who in the grand scheme isn't that larger than life compared to others in this show. It's also a welcome tone shift to have an adversarial Marine again after what we got from the Marine storyline in season 1. I'm bummed Vice Admiral Garp, Kobe, and Blondie aren't gonna get a lot of screen time in this season. Having a new Marine like Smoker who could go after the Straw Hats at any point brings a great tension back to the Marine storyline, as brief as it is in this season. Which, speaking of season 1, I really enjoyed taking our time with our characters before we set sail to enter the Grand Line. TM, Nami buys a copy of the book she stole as a child, which was just as heartwarming as Usopp leaving a voicemail for Kaya, and Sanji learns Zeph added one of his dishes to the menu back at the Baratier. It was nice to give season 1 a little before sailing off to the Grand Line. It's a shame Zoro doesn't have someone to... Oh, dude, that's messed up. What? That can't just be a coincidence, right? Like, there's a sword nerd girl who looks just like the friend that he lost in his flashbacks. That's gotta be important for later. Is that like a cousin, a sister? Is it a coincidence? Is it magic, reincarnation? If Luffy laughs like Gold Roger, does she look like Zoro's friend for a reason? I won't lie, for a hot second, I thought it was a ghost and he was seeing things. Shock at the doppelganger aside, we're taking a little time in season 2 to talk about the significance of swords. The first of his 2 new blades is a cursed blade, which is so cool, and I loved that scene of Zoro challenging the curse. It was so unique and fresh as a concept, and it also just felt anime as hell. Thanks to the nerdy sword girl, we also learned that Zoro's sword is one of 21 great blades, which I think adds something to his teacher letting him keep his friend's sword after her passing. He's also gifted a skilled blade from the shopkeeper, and for some reason though, I'm focused on the cursed sword. Weird little theory I want to put out there. What if the cursed sword still has a curse attached to someone else, presumably whoever sold it? I think the cursed sword is using Zoro to get to the swordsman who's still cursed by the sword. Does that make sense? Or it could just be cool. Nami inadvertently giving tips to the guy who tries to con Luffy was also a nice setup, as Luffy keeps asking everyone where to find the Gold Roger place. Big Goofy smiles as he's led through a circus to tip his straw hat and pay respects to Gold Roger, the king of the... circus? Oh my god, Buggy the Clown is back. Oh, and so's Alvida, who also has devil fruit powers now. I kind of hope Buggy and Alvida show up at the beginning of every season. Kind of reminds me of the tutorial prosecutor in Ace Attorney. Anyway, Alvida has slippery powers, which weird name, but I like how the powers worked. Everything you throw at her slides right off of her, even if you throw a punch. Great pun. Solid wordplay. 10 out of 10. Are Buggy and Alvida... Luffy is captured by the unholy duo, and we learn of Sea Stone, a stone made with the sea. And you know what? I'm fine with it. The phones are telepathic snails, right? I get it, and I like adding an additional obstacle in the future for Devil Fruit users. As Luffy endures what should have been my Ace Attorney reference, we get a sudden and incredible humanizing scene with the smoker guy. He gets bumped by a kid who knocks over her ice cream cone. Instead of getting angry, he offers to buy her an upgraded replacement, cash up front. And suddenly I'm very, very interested in this guy. Like, who are you? Also, Nerdy Sword Girl is a Marine who dreams of reclaiming fancy swords from bad people and also thinks Zoro is a bad people. Let me tell you something about season 1 of One Piece. I'm very excited to see them become important later. This guy's nice about ice cream, and she's gonna fight Zoro at the face of his fallen friend. We haven't even left the first town yet. The chilling speech from Buggy that the most powerful weapon is a story kind of throws Luffy's character back in his face in a very satisfying way. I also feel like it sets up the theme nicely for this season. While his reputation grows pose as a beacon of hope, it's also important to consider his wanted status. The biggest lights casting shadows, or however that goes. Also, the action budget got way bigger this season. Bigger, grander. I'm very excited. Grander liner. No, that didn't. That's not meant as any sort of blemish on season 1. You earned that allowance. I'm proud of you. So Buggy wants Luffy's story to end with, and he never made it out of the East Blue. And he wants to give Luffy the, Gold Roger treatment, which kind of proves his point that the most powerful weapon is a story. Ironically, there's people watching and it spreads Luffy's story to those passing by. And yeah, I wasn't afraid Luffy wasn't gonna make it past episode 1 of season 2. The thematic resonance balanced the plot armor expertly. Luffy even laughs like Gold Roger as he faces his possible demise, as lightning shoots down from the sky, striking Buggy the Clown and freeing Luffy. Okay, any other time I'd be screaming Deus Ex Machina, what was this? But because One Piece set up all this absurdity and magic so nicely, my first thought was, who did that? What devil fruit just did this? Who's looking out for Luffy? And I loved feeling that. Again, all that hard work building everything up in season 1, it's really paying off. I don't know what's gonna happen. That was somebody with a fruit power or something. That was some purposeful magic nonsense and I can't wait. This is important for later. I can smell it. As the Straw Hats escape, we also see that Smoker the Smokin' Man has smoke powers. Got it. I am curious how his clothes stay on, which is 30% thirsty, I swear. Who's this cloaked tattoo man? Mom can pick me up. Did you send the lightning to save Luffy? You reek of being important for later. With the crew back on the Going Merry and resupplied, we set off for the Grand Line. And I love how ominous Reverse Mountain is. An interesting obstacle for the entrance to the Grand Line. It serves as a great illustration that we're in for more dangers than just Marines, Devil Fruits, and Assassins. Even if they weren't being followed by anyone, this is still going to be a dangerous voyage. The amount of trust Luffy and the crew have in Nami's ability to get them through the mountain also carries the weight of her arc in season 1 admirably. These are definitely the guys who answered her call for help not too long ago. Speaking of, thank you for tying down Nami's tangerine trees. That's a great way to sum up my brain for people who aren't understanding these videos. I'd be so nervous the whole time that she's gonna lose one or all of her tangerine trees, and I'd noticed the rope tied them down, and so my brain just let it go. Especially because this sailing through the canyon moment, it's set up and treated like an action scene. We're fighting the mountain and its currents with a now broken ship. Luckily, Luffy's Gum Gum powers came in clutch to get us through the canyon. So despite earlier when I said Luffy's gonna be fine, it's season 2, episode 1, here I thought there was a chance we would fail and have to try again later. So I really like the tension here. This is a plausible failure. We barely got the Going Merry through that mountain in one piece. Like and subscribe. Oh my god, look out for the monstro! As the monster-ass whale swallows the ship and crew whole, Luffy is spared when he tries to fight the whale himself, ending up on a lighthouse overlooking the canyon wall of the Red Line, the belt of earth surrounding the oceanic world. I'm just gonna say this now. Bravo, you evil bastards. It looks like this monstro-ass monster of a whale is bashing the wall of the canyon to get at Luffy, like some sort of revenge or it's still hungry. And I fell for it. Stop it. I can't believe that I genuinely wanted Luffy to beat the hell out of this whale when I first watched these episodes. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The lighthouse Luffy is stuck at is run by an old man with a really great design who spends his days launching cannons of tranquilizers at the angry whale, seemingly to protect his home from its attacks, hiding the truth in plain sight with your big Moby Dick energy. Bravo, you masterful liars. Luckily, the ship and the crew are safe for now. Not just trapped in the whale's stomach, they're also in desperate need of repairs. Luckily, the whale has devoured a graveyard of ships with plenty of parts to spare. Old man Margaritaville here has an amazing set. I love the age of the scenery. It really shows that he's been here a while. It's also another great, oh, I get it, it's just anime Moby Dick, right guys? Like, I really thought I had this figured out. Serious Luffy is determined to do whatever it takes to save his crew, even if he has to fight Laboon with his bare hands. Wait, why does the whale have a name? Speaking of names, was his name always Smoker? Is his power a coincidence? Am I overthinking again? Also, we've been referencing Alabasta's missing princess twice now. That seems important for later. Also, this dragon guy? Animal names feel kind of oddly specific even for One Piece. Dragon, monkey, maybe I'm overthinking. As the Straw Hats check the wrecked ships to repair the Going Merry, they're ambushed by two assassins of Baroque works, Mr. Nine and Miss Wednesday. There's definitely something disarmingly immature about Burger King Crown Peter Pan guy over here. Also, Zoro pretty and also pretty dumb. He wants to make a big sword. He's lucky he's so pretty. As we see what's inside Laboon's stomach, we also see what's in his past. A flashback starts for the whale that has a name. A crew of singing pirates actually fits really nicely in this world. Since I'm sensing some imminent heartbreak ahead, I gotta ask for my own sanity. Do you think they auditioned for the crew? Are the instruments included? I don't want to know what's gonna happen to this whale. Like, look at him. No, they take care of him. He's just a little guy. Don't give him a backstory and a family. That pirate has a great singing voice. No, his pirate family left him behind? I hate them. Wait, they did it because they love him too much and would die protecting him. Stop! This isn't Moby Dick. So it turns out the lighthouse man made a promise to look after Laboon, despite their vows to return for Laboon one day. No one's heard anything from them except they gave up. And then it turns out Laboon has been bashing his head into the canyon wall trying to get into the Grand Line to look for the pirates. I thought he was trying to eat Luffy. Not only is Laboon's Hachiko-infused story tragically beautiful, it also reflects a core element of Luffy's story and of One Piece. I never thought for a second Luffy should give up and leave the Straw Hats behind, but it is important to balance never giving up with rethinking one's reality. Like Laboon ramming the mountain over and over, if Luffy keeps punching this whale, he's never getting his crew back and will never move forward. He can't give up, but he needs to reassess and change his thinking, like Laboon needing to preserve himself instead of constantly charging in vain. While yes, their loyalty is beautiful, continuing to act so dangerously won't help anyone. Go back to silly pirates. A captured Miss Wednesday gives us some lore about needing a special compass in the Grand Line due to the magnetic field of each island. I also appreciate while Nami feels ill-equipped and foolish in over her head, Zoro's also making a big sword that snaps when he tries to save Usopp from going overboard. The Straw Hats don't judge you, Nami, and you haven't made the silliest mistake this hour, let alone today. After finally seeing the futility in his actions, and understanding Laboon a bit more, instead of fighting, Luffy sings the Binks Brew shanty for Laboon. Not just to reassure Laboon, but to relate Luffy's crew in his belly to the family Laboon has lost. It's just wonderful. Again, I liked seeing him, despite having so much emotion, stop and reassess, reevaluate what he needs to do, turning this beautiful memory back into a soothing melody, to not give up and simultaneously let go, which are the literal lyrics of the song. Damn it, I love this show. Asking Laboon to return his crew instead of slaying the beast of the sea is a great reminder, just like we got in season 1, of why Luffy is the king of the pirates. Why he's my king of the pirates. He's gonna be king. Laboon lets the Straw Hat sail out of his mouth, and as the crew is reunited, plus 2 extra assassins, we get a lovely beat of helping out the old man who reflects on his situation. Wait, why did they set up that he could live in Laboon's mouth? I want that. Does Luffy keep his promise and see Laboon again? Just yes or no. You can keep it spoiler free, but I gotta know. Because not only did I love this story, but Luffy paints the Straw Hat flag on Laboon, which is a great reference to season 1. I want that doofy version of the Straw Hat Jolly Roger on a shirt. He also did it so Laboon won't hurt his head on the canyon again. Like, it was just perfect. It was already a satisfying ending that he sang for Laboon, asked Laboon for his crew back. Did you have to go this hard? It's so good. It's almost like it's some sort of symbol, but maybe I'm overthinking it. But seriously, someone needs to tell me if Luffy gets to see Laboon again. Also, the old man knew Gold Roger. Hello? Sir, are you important for later? Well, good thing we got the emotional beat of season 2 out of the way early. Having finally entered the Grand Line, we get an amazing callback as Zoro sees and hears Mihawk while training with his new swords, which is the most relatable thing I've ever seen Zoro do. I too have dreams about Mihawk. He's just like me for real. I don't know how I feel about Mr. Nine. I know I almost feel bad for him. He just seems so young, or maybe emotionally stunted. Just shut up and be nice, dude. I really liked Luffy and Miss Wednesday's back and forth. She's expecting an interrogation and Luffy's just asking her about her dreams. This is when I thought to myself, maybe she could join the Straw Hats. Good job, me. After all, Nami did mention wishing there was another girl on the team. Aw, man. Never mind. Although, the escape was kind of hot. Whoa, wait, did you just wink at Nami? Anyway, Cactus Island it is. The town of Whiskey Peak on Cactus Island is perfectly off-putting as its inhabitants are way too nice to pirates. Maybe they are welcoming to the pirates that search for the One Piece. Apparently they love it? I mean, it makes sense to just embrace the pirates as opposed to always fighting them off. You are the closest island from the entrance. Whoa, wait, he sings? And he plays the sax? Wait, why would Luffy need a crew musician? As the way too welcoming town parties with the Straw Hats, we're treated to a perfectly imbalanced, absurd scene that intentionally stands out even in a show like One Piece. Everyone's too nice. A drinking nun seems a little redundant, even for a story like this. Having to wait for the compass to recalibrate due to the magnetic fields of the island? That actually makes sense. Okay, fine, we're just here to have fun. Maybe I'm overthinking. Bill, relax and have fun. Wait, why can't we climb the Cactus Mountain? How do you know about Luffy's bounty? Oh, cool. No, they actually hate pirates, and the whole town is working for Baroque Works, and the mayor's sax man is Mr. 8. Dude, I knew it. You can't trick me. I completely have this character figured out. At first, I was getting the same vibe as Luffy, that maybe the mayor needs help, or he's good after all. No. Haha. Gotcha. Expert analysis with no twist aside, I am a bit confused on Mr. 8's saxophone magic and Miss Wednesday's, little dance. For starters, what is it? It feels like it's setting up an idea for later. It's so brief, but so specific. If it's just another magic element, I'll just accept it. It's fine. I was waiting for an explanation or something. Luffy did say he wants a musician on his crew, so maybe music can do this? Also, smash. As Luffy subdued by the magic performance, I really love the reveal that the cactus pricklies on the mountain are freaking gravestones. Perfectly overpowers any possibility that Mr. 8 and Miss Wednesday were good people in need of help after all. Silly Luffy, you really got me thinking they were good there for a second. Zoro not wanting to be bothered when he's going potty is yet another way I relate to him so much. He's just like me for real. Honestly, they had it coming. Zoro's fight with the whole town was not just a great action setup, but an ingenious way to show us how he's improving as a swordsman. He still has a long way to go to reach Mihawk's level, who thankfully is still there providing ghost commentary. I do have to ask for the anime and manga fans out there, is the cupcake car important? It was just a bit silly to include a cupcake car with Zoro versus 100 assassins, given Mr. 8 and Miss Wednesday are actually still good people in need of help at the end of the day. It could be a playful setup for the reveal for later. It could be big anime iconography. I don't know. I just found it very silly. I guess that's on me. I need to remember that this show is full of absurdity, but also a lot of heart. Even the most absurd element of One Piece has its place in the end. What do you mean this man has magic exploding boogers? Yeah, I'm happy mommy's back to step on me, but what is this? You see, Mr. 5 has other powers, or I guess other levels to his powers, right? Later we're gonna see that he can like breathe into a gun and shoot it like bullets. Maybe we start with that before getting to boogers? I will say though, the actors do an amazing job taking this seriously. The actor playing Mr. 5 is lobbying these boogers with intensity. The Straw Hat crew, Mr. 8, Miss Wednesday, they're all taking this threat very, very seriously. It's still boogers. The stakes are still there because of the actors' performances, despite, boogers. Especially when Mr. 8 takes his last stand with his way more acceptable giant powdered wig with hidden guns that's attached to his tie. Ridiculous as Mr. 5 is, I feel the gravity of this sacrifice and the gutting devastation that Miss Wednesday just lost her only companion out here. Turns out they're both from the eluded Kingdom of Alabasta, and Miss Wednesday is their missing princess. They both infiltrated Baroque Works together, trying to bring it down from within. We learned that they did at least discover the identity of Mr. Zero. I can't overstate how palpable their shared history is through their performances. Like, you really feel like the Straw Hats entered the middle of a different anime. I really liked diving into the Alabasta stuff. I can see the importance of this plot point, and it feels perfectly in character for Luffy and the Straw Hats to agree to just help. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's a natural progression after saving a small village from shark people to then help a princess get home. I also want to acknowledge my appreciation that Mr. 8 didn't fall to a booger, but rather Mr. 5's sweat. No boogers helped Mr. 8's final moment is a weird sentence to write in my notes, but I did and I felt it. Also, I really like Mr. 9's final scene here, or final scene for now. I want to get to know this character way better now. After barely surviving Zoro's growing sword skills and despite learning Miss Wednesday was a traitor the whole time, he still feels loyalty to her. And we see the weakness of Baroque Works: betrayal, secret personal agendas, and disloyalty. You know, the opposite of the Straw Hats. I'm willing to bet someone else from Baroque Works is going to betray the rest of the assassins to help the Straw Hat crew, if they haven't already. Mommy all Sunday, sorry, Miss all Sunday, can grow magic hands on me any day, all the days. But please don't take Luffy's hat, Queen. Wait, she has a super magic compass Plus premium subscription with no ads? Why would she just give it to them? What's her plan? Oh, well, Serious Luffy said no thank you, so forget all that. I guess we're going to the island of Little Garden next, since we don't have Magic Compass Premium Plus with no ads. Oh my god, there's dinosaurs. The show has dinosaurs? I adore the Little Garden story, set, and location, especially given that this isn't the third village plotline in a row. Great visuals as we discover this land of dinosaurs and giants? This show really does have everything. It's so fun to see Luffy treat this island like a kid in a candy shop, literally eating and drinking everything. It's also great for Princess Vivi, to officially meet Luffy, if that makes sense. Luffy's personality is the perfect vehicle for adding a new character to our story. Meanwhile, Zoro and Sanji set off to hunt a T-Rex together, while Nami helps Usopp get over his fear of leaving the Going Merry. After all, how can he have any amazing stories and adventures if he stays on the ship the whole time? Didn't think I'd love the pairing of Nami and Usopp so much, but I really do. I also really liked this big sister moment she shared with Usopp, as they get taken to lunch by a giant. Turns out there's more to the giants than meets the eye, and I loved getting to know the characters, their culture, and especially when Usopp starts telling Brogy, the first giant, his tall tales of Usopp the Destroyer. Meanwhile, Luffy on the other side of the island is trading meals with Dory, the second giant on the island. Turns out these two giants have been stuck on this island, dueling every day for over 100 years. Every time they fight to a draw, and it's been going on so long that they've forgotten why they're fighting, and have formed a great respect and a lovely friendship through their warrior's code. I really like their perspective on death. It's a victory to lose and die in honor, especially as this perspective helps Usopp become a great warrior of the, did someone lose a scary child with mind control paint? I feel obligated to ask, magic paint or magic fruit? Magic paint made with magic fruit. Frankly, it was hilarious that I had more questions about the paint than I did the giants. The revelation that giants don't eat people is an interesting reward for Usopp's bravery. I wasn't expecting this arc to end with Usopp saves the day, but it kind of makes it perfect. We're reflecting on honor and what it means to not just be a warrior, but what it means to be brave. Wait, hold on. Is that a statue of Cloud God Demon Luffy? Alright, annoying as it is that Hot Topic has revealed Cloud Demon Luffy God to me, knowing that there's a connection actually makes this a really cool Easter egg, and I don't find it to be a spoiler. If anything, I'm intrigued. Something tells me we haven't seen the last of the giants, which makes me very happy, because I love the giants. Meanwhile, Miss Valentine and Mr. Five arrive on Little Garden in pursuit of the Straw Hats, and we discover they're not alone, as the Magic Paint Girl is already here, helping Mr. 3 in his house of wax. The first of only a couple of actors I recognize, Mr. 3 has a very interesting power. While it's not as gross as boogers, it does have a bit of an unfortunate visual effect, and they do a great job keeping it as minimal as possible when we see the milky streams of wax shooting out of his fingers. It very easily could have looked a lot worse, so I'm not complaining. What's more impressive to me is this amazingly unnerving vibe. Unlike Miss Valentine and Mr. 5, Mr. 3 likes playing with his food and a psychological horror vibe that really makes the two Baroque teams very distinct. As Luffy and Vivi pay their respects to the late Mr. 8 with Dory in a makeshift giant funeral pyre, Brogy tells Usopp the importance in stories of heroes. And it's a great vehicle to reflect on legacy, how even if you don't survive, the power in doing what's right will live on through the ripple effects in our actions. Great, now that creepy paint girl has Nami and Zoro under her spell. With Nami and Zoro incapacitated, Mr. 3 tasks Miss Valentine and Mr. 5 with dispatching the giants at their daily duel. Mr. Booger put a deadly trap of explosive earwax in their ceremonial drink, and dude, I am pissed. I barely know these characters, and oh, I want justice. They set up the giants so well, like I was so mad losing their duel after 100+ years in a dishonorable way like this. The impact was huge. Usopp needs to bring Mr. Booger to justice. Miss Golden Week hits Luffy with blue sadness paint, which allows us a rare sight of a broken Luffy. Now it's up to Usopp, who can't find Sanji, to save the Straw Hats. Poor Sanji's just lost in the jungle with no idea what's going on. I enjoyed his silly fight scene while on the phone with Mr. Zero, which that interaction seems important for later. I'm glad he got a less serious battle with the Unluckies? What does that mean? Oh my god, it's an otter on a vulture with a Gatling gun, this show. Much as I want Sanji to help the Straw Hats, this is Usopp's moment, and Sanji's side quest does give us more Mr. Zero and a free subscription to Magic Compass Plus Premium with no ads. All the details add up for a solid conclusion to this arc. Luffy fights back the conjured emotions of the blue, sad paint spell, and even resists the give up everything pitch black final color, as we see his determination resisting with such a great performance, even as Luffy is ordered to say that he gives up on his dreams, that he will never find the One Piece. Words he literally can't say. Saved at the last second by a terrified Usopp. And while I'm bummed Usopp accidentally saves Luffy, it makes his ultimate victory all the sweeter. Luffy and Usopp barely make it in time to stop Mr. 3, and as Luffy fights the Wax Man, Usopp has to figure out how to save everyone while fighting Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine all by himself. Earlier, while recovering from the earwax sneak attack, Brogy the Giant encourages Usopp to go be the hero he claims he is in his stories. To be a legendary warrior means acting despite your fear, not with no fear. Seeing Usopp recognize and seize this opportunity to grow was beyond satisfying. Best of all, it gave Usopp no new powers or abilities. Instead, an opportunity to utilize what he does best, running his damn mouth. Usopp figures that if he duels Miss Valentine solo, he can provoke her into a rage-fueled attack with her gravity step-on-me smash powers, and could even shatter the wax trapping Nami, Vivi, and Zoro. I honestly got kind of emotional watching Usopp knowingly running his mouth, putting himself in danger and taking such a beating for his friends. He knows he can't win the fight, and he's willing to have a hero's death if need be to save his crew. And the fact that he utilizes his wit and words proves that he's on track to become a great warrior of the sea. It was absolutely fantastic. Usopp's not the only one with an arc, as Luffy must also find a way to grow as he fights dozens of wax copies of Mr. 3. Luffy needs to think and assess before swinging in with a gum pistol and getting sucker punched every time he hits the wrong target. An extension of what he learned with Laboon, he has to grapple his emotions and stop ramming the proverbial wall. With Nami and Vivi free to help Usopp fight, and Zoro mostly free to help, it's time to take down Mr. 5. And again, maybe we could have started with the breathing bullets and built up to boogers. All I keep thinking is, why does this man keep choosing to pick his nose when he can breathe bullets? Whatever, I don't care, because Usopp out-marksmaned Mr. 5. Usopp out-marksmaned Mr. 5. Nailed it. Zoro and Usopp also unleash a combo attack together that's so satisfying and perfectly anime as hell. While I did enjoy Vivi and Nami working together to fight Miss Valentine, Usopp and Zoro summoned the Flame Swordsman. The Flame Swordsman! Equally as satisfying is Luffy adapting his gum moves when his hands are covered in the heavy wax. It's great to see both of them take steps forward, just like we saw Zoro leveling up when he let the bodies hit the floor in Whiskey Peak. Cherry on top is how after the fight, when Luffy sees that Usopp saved the day, he just gives him an unsurprised, "Of course he did." Whew. I have such a soft spot for the goofy characters having much more to them. Damn it, I just love this crew. With both giants now saved, healthy, and reunited, Sanji gives Nami the Magic Compass Plus Premium with no ads. It's time to set sail for Alabasta and keep our promise to help Princess Vivi. We also get this beautiful send-off as the giants share that they have a new tale to tell. The heroic tale of the great warrior Usopp. Why is that getting me? Fantastic music here too, as Usopp's final test of bravery is to keep sailing forward no matter what. Right as a giant goldfish, like his story with Kaya? Right as a giant goldfish opens its mouth just to be split open by the giants. Why did the music say pray to the sun? That seems important for later. And to celebrate their victories, we get a straw hat feast filled with fun and laughter as Nami? Buddy? Well, that fun was short-lived. Oh yeah, Mr. 3 is alive and he kills Step On Me Mommy. Anyway, Nami is sick and needs a doctor. Too bad that's when season 2 ends. That's it. Please don't make me. Fine, but you better click things. So Nami needs a doctor. Nobody warned me about this final arc of season 2. Who is this scary king man, and why is my wife feeding him? Also, get away from her. Get a job. To be fair, the Metal Mouth practical effect looks pretty good, all things considered. I was surprised that they just give out devil fruit like candy. I really wasn't expecting, how many do they have? Do they have a devil fruit tree? Where do they come from anyway? Lore questions for later aside, I loved how just disgusting and almost like feral this version of eating a devil fruit was compared to Luffy as a kid in season 1. Obviously, everything about this whole scene is different, but just the eating alone is the literal opposite. It's prepared, knowing, gluttonous, sinister, creepy in tone and in music. How did Shanks get a fruit? That seems important for... Whoa, okay, yeah. Nami, are you okay? I'm still bummed she's gonna be out of 2 season finales. I do like the shift from something less tangible like fighting Sharkman to an illness. Nami's sick and we're all ill-equipped to help or even identify what's wrong. The tone is morbid, quiet, frigid like the weather. Not even shirtless Zoro is helping me feel better. It adds much needed warmth that when Vivi is given the option to head straight for her kingdom or stop at the nearest island for help, she chooses to help Nami. Understanding the full scope of what's at stake later just adds to the sacrifice. I really enjoyed that beat. We get more marine plot as Smoker and the nerdy sword girl find a destroyed marine's comm facility. Seeing the chain link fence is a lot less odd now compared to some of the modern features in season 1, and I enjoy the additional bigger picture the information from their investigation gives us. I especially enjoyed this odd sense of terror when we see all of these destroyed snail phones. Yes, they threw me through a loop in season 1. I really felt something seeing the lifeless, banged up snail phones. There's a baseball lady? You know what? Odd as it is, I really enjoyed the creativity behind the fight scene here. As short as it was, it really stood out. Also, we get to see Sword Girl claim her first sword after capturing Mr. 11. And you know what? Good for her. Forgive the consolidation of the marine plotline here. I do feel like we could have done all this strung together so we're not going back and forth between one of our main characters is sick. That being said, I will admit that the marine plotline is a nice breather from seeing the crew grapple with Nami's condition that's getting worse and worse. Oh, neat. An island famous for its doctors and medicines. Not as convenient as it sounds, though, as we learn Princess Vivi needs to keep her identity a secret due to political tensions between the Drum Kingdom and hers, which makes me hopeful that Luffy and the Straw Hats can find the world peace. Sorry again. God, the drum music goes hard. I love the music this season. And I really enjoyed the change of scenery that matches the dour tone as we see the destruction left behind by their awful king when he abandoned their country. The village has its meager defenses on high alert, denying the Straw Hats entry, even shooting Vivi in the arm, who then shows Luffy the purpose of diplomacy and negotiations, of peace. Again, thinking and reassessing despite high emotions, even when you're angry or scared for your crew. I love seeing Luffy learn more about leadership from another learning leader. I also really enjoyed the twist that the village is actually defended by civilians, not soldiers. Great setup as we learn what good leadership is and isn't through the Kingdom of Drum. Turns out that gross king guy I hate let the island be overtaken by pirates to save himself. He rounded up and grabbed all the doctors to stay by his side at all times. Well, all doctors but one. A witch? A doctor? A witch doctor? Something tells me she's hot and cool if all the villagers keep referring to her as a witch. The last remaining doctor in Drum now stays in the king's abandoned castle, and the only way to get to her is to climb a treacherous snowy mountain, which Luffy agrees to without hesitation. Won't lie, I did think Luffy was gonna use his gum powers to make the climb easier. I also got the impression that he was too upset to think clearly. It really doesn't matter, especially when we put our first not fun bar scene with the Straw Hats. I mean, even Whiskey Peak had partying and merriment before the betrayal. Now it's cold, quiet, somber, and everyone is scared for Nami. I also adored when Luffy asked Nami if it's okay that he carry her up the mountain despite it getting dark outside. We could wait, but it's ultimately up to her, and Nami trusts her captain, who thinks it's best that they head out immediately, showing us again that Luffy is starting to learn to rethink and assess even when he's in serious Luffy mode. This life-saving act was only possible through Nami trusting her crew and asking for help in season 1. You could have had an annoying on-the-nose flashback to that scene, and I wouldn't even complain. I do, however, want to appreciate and point out how we just let this moment breathe. Thank you for not doing the over-explaining Netflix thing. Sanji agrees to go with Luffy and Nami while Zoro, Usopp, and Vivi stay behind in the village. Usopp is keeping himself busy by tinkering around with something, but Zoro can't stand still due to obvious stress and care for his friends. After Usopp shockingly calls Zoro out and tells him to find something to do, Zoro joins their only soldier Dalton on guard watch. Surprisingly, Usopp was right. Zoro needed something to do, and we get to learn the tragic history of this abandoned kingdom. Speaking to Dalton, Zoro learns the village is on high alert not just from pirates also had a fear that their disgusting king will return. Through a Vivi flashback, we're reunited with our guy. Seeing Egram again is heartbreaking, and now we get to see what his and Vivi's dynamic looked like before they went undercover. As her mentor, they have a lovely back and forth together, and she makes her first treaty wanting ice cream in exchange for not interrupting the world government meeting that her father is attending, filled with vampires and Abraham Lincoln. After a fun example of peace and negotiation, the gross king who needs to stay away from her. We better gum burn this man to the ground. Good job, One Piece. I really hate this guy. That being said, writers, why would you bring the handkerchief like that back? Stop, enough, I hate you. Meanwhile, Luffy and Sanji's climb up the snowy mountain expertly meets the level of emotional stakes. Granted, they could walk through a sunny meadow and I'd still be nervous for Nami. Okay, yep, alright. I didn't think Luffy would stretch his neck. I didn't mean to ask why you weren't using your powers sooner. I shouldn't have questioned you. Forgive me, King. God, it was jarring. Also, shout out to Luffy for going up this mountain in jorts. We finally make it up the mountain and a monster in a hat. And as Luffy passes out in the cold, he asks the monster to save his friends. Despite making it up the mountain, they're now at the mercy of this mysterious monster. Who knows what this dangerous beast will... Look at the little guy. Oh, you're so precious. Hi. Oh my God, it's Katie Seagal. Also called it, I knew the scary witch would be hot and cool. Praise me for my genius. Oh, look, the little guy's learning. Dr. Doctorine has similar rules as Sanji does when feeding anyone hungry. It's a bit more strictly enforced, but nobody in her care can leave until they are well or in a bag. Who am I to complain about your bedside manner when the healthcare is free, am I right? Ew, wait, Nami had dinosaur ticks? That's so gross. Also, Luffy is ripped. Hello? Hi, shirtless Sanji. Thankfully, everyone is recovering smoothly. Wait, why is the little guy so scared and sad? All right, setup aside, there is a beautiful, subtle heaviness and levity to Luffy's excitement as he fawns over the little guy while asking about the monster from earlier. Something tells me being called a monster is a sensitive topic for the little guy. Call me a genius, call me a madman. I think this is gonna be important for later soon now. End of season 2. Good night, like and subscribe. Okay, fine, but please click the buttons. Wait, hold on. Is Chopper a human turned deer or a deer turned... Oh, okay. Yeah, deer first. All right. Odd. One Piece usually isn't in the habit of answering my weird questions quickly. Is there something else you want to tell me about the little reindeer boy, One Piece? Anyway, I do appreciate that the show cleared that up really quickly. I should have recognized the warning that something big was coming, but I appreciate getting my silly question answered fast. While trying to learn more about Chopper, Luffy finds an old Jolly Roger hidden in a dusty chest, but is quickly told to put it back. Oh, awesome. Turns out the little deer boy can talk. The Straw Hats are then given Chopper's backstory, and I'm still a little upset I wasn't prepared at all for this. Years ago, when the terrible king took over the land, there was a doctor hunt, rounding up all the doctors to be taken away from their families against their will and kept in the castle at the king's beck and call, which is kind of intense. The only doctors that weren't forcibly grabbed and taken away by a small terrible man were Doctorine and Dr. Hiralock, who has the worst case of anime hair I've ever seen. Frankly, that's my short, sweet, glowing review, is I stopped noticing that hair fast. Arguably more of a passionate scientist than traditional medical doctor, the doc was determined to cure his homeland. This country is sick. Already there's a shadow looming around this uncomfortable reality as this man stands steadfast in his resolve to help his people. The townspeople are so lost and desperate without hope, they even go to the Valley of Death, where there's stories of a cure-all magic mushroom that Doctorine doesn't believe exists. While on the run in the ice-cold woods, the doctor finds bloody deer tracks in the snow. Well, not deer tracks at first, but large footprints that lead to deer tracks, curiously leading to a wounded little deer boy in the woods, who has pants? Where did he... Oh my God, Bill, shut up. The doctor takes in the little deer boy to help mend his wounds, and upon waking up in his new home, Chopper can't help speaking, which worries him since this new ability of speech caused the villagers to attack him, believing him to be a monster. Even the other reindeer reject him for what makes him different, having a blue nose, making this the darkest interpretation of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer I've ever seen. Anyway, deer suck. I do want to give huge props to the visual effects team for Chopper's design and all the animation required and mocap to bring this character to live action. I genuinely enjoy the performances with both Chopper, played by Michaela Hoover, and the Doctor, played by Mark Herelick, and the visuals never distracted. Turns out Chopper was in fact a regular reindeer who happened to eat some devil fruit. Where did it come from? Who's to say? But it gave him the ability to talk. I wonder if he could do anything else. I'm sorry, his name is Tony? Why is his name Tony? maybe I'm too stressed. Maybe I don't want to think about all the feelings that come up in this storyline, but calling Chopper Tony feels so specific. I want to know if there's a reason or if it's just fun. Hey, I'm Tony Chopper, I'm chopping he. It just makes me smile and I need to smile. The doctor names him Chopper due to his antlers, and his new name even gets the dear boy to laugh and cry as he finally feels welcome and accepted. Whew. I mean, this is ridiculous. What little boy is saved by a goofy, well-intended, nice man? Me. I miss you, Grandpa. Thank you for putting up with my shit for all these years, and thank you for making me laugh every time you found me. The beautiful relationship that forms between the Doctor and Chopper is one of the most wonderful things I've seen in a long time. As Chopper laments the pain that his ability to talk has brought him, the Doctor just reassures Chopper that, hey, don't worry about it, I talk too much too. And instantly I can feel all the warmth in this hut that just became a home for two people. Time passes and we see Chopper continue to live with the Doctor and become his assistant with various experiments as the scientist continues to search for this cure for his sick country. After a failed attempt at whatever this is, blast both of them in the face with purple stuff, they lash out at each other in frustration and yell. The Doc insults his blue nose, clearly crossing a boundary. Then after a long pause, Chopper isn't sure what to do because he's never been in a fight before. And the Doctor could have easily taken advantage of this moment, and instead he just reflects on, well, you never had someone in your life to fight with. Stupid words making sentences. This show never had dialogue before. I don't understand these choices. The Doc apologizes and gives Chopper his big red hat as a present. Cool, stop. What a silly, stupid big hat. What, did the Doctor wear it to cover up his big anime hair? Yeah, Bill, probably. That was his. Stupid. Good one, Bill. Enough. Chopper is confused why the Doctor would spend his life searching for a cure to save this country whose people constantly hurt them. To which the Doctor has one of many, many incredible lines that, despite their tendency to lash out, this isn't relevant. Why am I so upset? They need hope to alleviate their fear. And when they're no longer afraid, they'll stop lashing out at the people they perceive to be monsters. We must never give up on them. Cool anyway. End of season 2, end of video. The Doctor tells Chopper a story of a sick robber who couldn't find a cure to his disease despite all of his ill-gotten money. After visiting all the doctors he could, one day he saw cherry blossoms and they gave him hope. Miraculously, the next day, he was cured. Incredible performance again by Mark Herelick. This better be your Emmy nomination clip. Actually, no, I want Chopper in the clip. You look at the anime. This story is also incredible, and I have no questions. Me, the man with the annoying brain, has no follow-up questions. Don't ever explain this. Oh, cool, great. The Jolly Roger flag Luffy found earlier is on the wall of the Doctor's home with cherry blossoms on it. Or depending on how you look at it, it also kind of looks like bloody deer tracks. Is it supposed to be both? Am I a genius or a madman? I don't know. That's just how I see it. That's just what my brain does. I think it's both. Maybe I'm an idiot. The Doctor shows it to Chopper, who knows nothing about pirates, haha, and explains to him that the skull and crossbones of the Jolly Roger flag are a symbol of faith that rejects the impossible. Frankly, he sounds a lot like Luffy here. Much like our stretchy hero, he inspires Chopper with his words and gets him to believe in their mission and fight like a pirate and save the why are you coughing? Why is he coughing? Okay, now the Doctor wants Chopper to leave because his treatment is complete. The boy has been fine all montage. No. What do you mean his treatment is complete? Why does he want Chopper to leave? God. And Chopper is so desperate to stay, he starts insisting that he isn't healthy, he's not ready, and he says his tummy hurts, which is a low blow. It's so childish and immature, and it's perfect. Of course, my camera battery died again. Saying his tummy hurts was too much. Man, I can't tell you how many times my tummy hurts really just means I want my grandpa here. It still does. But the Doc won't let Chopper stay, insisting that he's fine and that he needs to leave. Just go and take care of yourself, which also gutted me. Thanks, everybody. I hate this. Time jumps forward again, and Doctorine is examining the Doctor, who turns out his illness has returned, and he's dying. That's why he didn't want Chopper to stay. Which, I get it, but dude, that's not how family works. Oh yeah, surprise. He's the Doctor from the story. Duh, we get it. Go get the boy. The Doctor's now desperately trying to buy time to finish his work and save his country and bring people hope. He even asks Doctorine about the cure-all mushroom that the villagers are always searching for, which again, she insists does not exist. Chopper overhears everything from outside the hut window and heads out, determined as a straw hat, to the Valley of Death to find the cure-all mushroom and help the doctor who helped him. This is where magic comes back into play. Here is where a fantasy can really elevate a story on a real grounded level. We have fruit that gives you superpowers, animal people, special magic compasses, even a talking reindeer boy. Whether you've been in this fandom a long time or you're new like me, how can anyone parse what's going to be real or not real in this absurd, beautiful anime world? You can produce anything you want in this world at the drop of a straw hat. So as we hear the mushroom come up again in a narrative device to tell us it's important, why wouldn't we believe that it's there? Literally like the One Piece itself. Just because no one has seen it doesn't mean it's not real. Why wouldn't it be real? Whew. After asking Doctrine to finish his work and look after Chopper, both of which she refuses, leaving the doctor to desperately work alone for his cure to save what's left of his country, ultimately making Tang springtime? It's pink. Cool, like a cherry blossom. Nope, yep, got it, cool. As the pink concoction glows, the doc excitedly calls out for Chopper, only to be met with an empty house. Exactly like people do in their final days. Out of habit, sure, but calling for someone close to you is a very real thing people do. Right as this reminder of death sinks in my brain, Chopper returns, bloodied and battered from his time in the Valley of Death with the cure-all mushroom in hand. Well, in hoof. With the cure-all mushroom in hoof, Chopper declares to the doc he's going to become a doctor too so he can help people, and he wants the doctor to be his first patient. After getting all bandaged up, the sweet little deer boy makes soup out of the mushroom so the doc can eat it and finally heal. Strange that the doctor gulps down all the soup without sharing any with the injured Chopper. Despite it being so disgusting, as all good medicine should be, he finishes the soup all at once. All better now and healed back to full strength, the doc heads to the castle where it's rumored that the captured doctors have all fallen sick, and he means to heal them, bringing with him his briefcase filled with everything he might need, and explosives, in case he needs to fight his way through. Despite the danger, or maybe because of it, he insists Chopper stay behind to rest and heal his wounds. Doctor's orders. Later, as Chopper is all snug in his bed reading his book of medicines, again, great childlike imagery, guys. Doctrine bursts into the hut looking for the doctor. She's confused by Chopper's claim that the doc is all better now, as she demands to see the cure-all mushroom that Chopper gave him. And as Chopper shows her a picture from his book, we can already see the Jolly Roger on the page. Or more accurately in this context, a skull and crossbones. Not a symbol that anything is possible and to dream big, but a failed warning that Chopper unknowingly poisoned the doctor. A mushroom he recognized instantly on sight and realized in that moment the cure-all mushroom does not exist and that people will keep searching for it in vain if nothing changes, if the people don't get hope. Expertly set up like my amazing video, the doc ate all the soup so none would be left for Chopper to naively drink it for himself to heal his wounds, and he reassured him the whole time, insisting he'll be back as he walked off to his inevitable end. As Doctrine screams at Chopper for confusing the Jolly Roger with the symbol for poison, you can see how she too is lashing out in fear at Chopper, like the villagers did when he first began to speak. However, now it's due to something he can control, something he needs to change and understand. The only thing louder than Chopper's cries and wails is the hardest lesson he will ever learn. If he doesn't study, he'll never understand medicine, and he won't be able to save anyone. That there are no shortcuts if you want to be a doctor. There's no such thing as a cure-all. Maybe it's my brain trying to cope, but I also wanted to point out Chopper also goes through the 5 stages of grief, almost all of them in this scene. He starts lashing out in anger, he's denying Doctrine's credibility, he apologizes like somehow he can undo what's happened, and then he just starts crying and screaming as the reality sinks in, eventually accepting what happens and vowing to be a doctor, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe my brain needs this right now. As the end draws near, the doctor storms the gates of the castle, determined to heal his fellow physicians to his dying breath, to ease the suffering of the sick. And as we see the king hoarding all the health, the renegade doctor approaches the throne to see that all the physicians are fine, still captured, but fine. Their shared sickness was just a rumor. Despite now being at the Mad King's mercy, relief washes over him as the king demands the doctor's execution. And we see Dalton, the present-day captain of the village's only defense, hesitating to harm the doctor, clearly struggling with what's left of the leadership that he swore to protect. One step, one push from being the man we know him to be now in present day, the man who defends his people from their own own leader. In his final act of defiance, the doctor asks the room of guards and king, when does a man die? Visibly inspiring Dalton as he declares that a man dies not from poison or illness, but when he's forgotten. His message, his ideals, his hope to save the country passes like a torch to the guard. The final spark of his life igniting in another person who cares for the people despite the despair created by this terrible ruler. A visibly sick and dying doctor asks Dalton to spare the monster that's inevitably coming to the castle. To spare his son. He thanks Chopper and detonates the device. We see a crying, angry Chopper transform into a half-deer form, races off to the castle, and it's hard, it's painful. I can't figure out if he thinks he can save the doctor or if his desire in this moment is to join him. Thankfully, Dalton stops Chopper from entering the castle and delivers the doctor's final message. Despite him turning into his monster form, Dalton spares Chopper, keeping his word to the doctor. He also tells Chopper that his father wanted him to live, and making sure Chopper knew he called you his son is everything to me. Also, this dollar store tingle guy pisses me off. I need him to pay. After returning home, Chopper swears to become a doctor, to be the cure-all for every disease, and begs Doctrine to teach him medicine. She eventually agrees with a mix of possibly pity, maybe respect for the late doctor, possibly even responsibility that an avoidable incident like this might happen again if Chopper isn't given proper guidance. The story ends and we return to the present day, and God, I just appreciate the Straw Hats all taking a minute with us. I need a minute to recover. Diegetically, for the rest of this season, all these characters heard the same story we just saw, and it's so well delivered and executed. They need a minute, I need a minute. Before Luffy stands up and walks out of the room. After hearing Chopper's story, Luffy goes to speak with the reindeer boy about his father. And the Jolly Roger flag he keeps hidden away in that dusty chest. Serious Luffy returns here to tell Chopper that all flags deserve to be hung up with pride, especially the flag of his father, of cherry blossoms and maybe reindeer hooves. Not only is it a way to help Chopper's grief, but as Luffy hangs the flag up high, Chopper sees Luffy stretch his arms, realizing he too has a devil fruit power like he does. That Luffy's a monster too. But isn't it great? Subtext, it doesn't just help Chopper unpack and honor the late doctor, it also shows Chopper he's not alone. And it makes me wonder if something happened to Luffy between growing up with his grandpa and being at the bar where Shanks would come visit with his crew. Whether or not Luffy relates to Chopper's entire story, it's clear he understands. Luffy gives Chopper the same warmth and acceptance the doctor did, all the way back when he saved a little reindeer boy in the snow. As Chopper looks up at that flag, you could see it kind of start to click in Chopper that having these abilities isn't bad. Most importantly, not everyone will wish him harm for just existing. Anyway, I need someone to harm this monster for existing. Also, I still hate Dollar Store Tingle. The pendulum swings us all the way back to amazing anime absurdity as the Bad King Man reveals his devil fruit power to devour and reform anything he eats, whether it's a spear to add to his arm or a whole soldier to regurgitate into a mutant monster barf soldier thing. It's gross, but thematically brilliant. I also really want to give kudos to feeling the gluttony of a selfish king, as opposed to, haha, he's a bit big, give him the eating power. I enjoyed that this felt like a reflection of his management style, the all-consuming void of a man who runs his mouth and does whatever he pleases, now a bottomless pit that warps and destroys what enters, even his own followers. It's not a subtle metaphor, but I appreciate that it is not a subtle metaphor, especially when it's the guards who didn't leave after Dalton was inspired by the doctor's final moments and sacrifice. Who is a werewolf? Wait, is this magic fruit? I swear I'm not doing a bit. I genuinely want to know. I like the surprise of the reveal. It just never comes up in dialogue again. I also can't understate how much I appreciate looking back on, oh, that's how he was able to physically stop Bigfoot form Chopper from getting into the castle. Furthermore, there's an undercurrent of maybe this man with transforming magic powers understands Chopper, like Luffy did. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that unspoken go live, survive while he's hiding this secret is huge. Hey, hand stuff, did it hurt when you fell from, I'm sorry, wait, what's mommy's agenda? If she's not completely aligned with Mr. Zero, that sounds important for later. Set up for future plot lines aside, I really enjoy how Mr. Zero's strings connect to everything in Drum Kingdom. The whole storyline has his fingerprints all over it. Look, I know I ask a lot of questions. It's how my brain works. I try to make it into something fun and constructive. I have no questions for how King War Butthole's magic mouth works. They kind of nailed it, especially considering we ramped up to the soldiers. First there's the spear, and then the big mouth, then we see the barf warriors. It's really well spelled out. I also morbidly enjoy the details on the soldiers and the practical effects. First I was kind of put off by such a heavy practical choice over digital. They kind of look like people with extra... Oh, no, that works. No, I got it. The practical effect throws it right in our face that these are literally still people, or what's left of them. You really get to feel and see the cost of standing by their disgusting, selfish, lying con man of a king. As the battle is about to begin in the village, Sanji and Nami share an incredible moment as the chef delivers more soup. That's weird. He's good at making everything, but yeah, no, he's great at soup. Okay, cool detail, guys. Oh, okay, cool. I guess Sanji gets two incredible tragic backstories. Before his encounter with Zeph, Sanji would take care of his sick mother when he was young. He would cook for her to help her feel better. No matter what horrid thing he blundered in the kitchen, she would eat it all up with a big smile for her son. I can't believe how perfect this is. All that's missing is for Chopper to overhear this, but I don't know, maybe soup would be too much for him. I like that it stays here. Nami listening to Sanji's story is also very moving, considering what little affection she could afford to give the other Straw Hats in season 1. Sanji's response to Nami's illness for the past couple of episodes all start making so much more sense and clicking. Sanji was always at her side, but barely hanging on to the plastered smile on his face. Dude literally relived one of the most traumatic things in his life for Nami to get better. Everything he cooks is for his mom. Like, stop. Ow. Anyway, the barf monsters are advancing and we have to look out for the Buttmouth King. Doctrine wants to escape via secret tunnels, but Chopper refuses to leave with her, wanting to stay and help the Straw Hats fight. People need help. They might get injured. They might need him. That's what a doctor would do. Subtextually, that's what his father would do. While his teacher taught him the realities of medicine, he never let go of the bravery to dream and defend like his father. It just works. Speaking of believing yourself, as Usopp starts to panic before the battle, Zoro assures him that an army of monsters is nothing compared to the hero of Little Garden. And damn it if that didn't make me smile, and I really need to smile right now. Also, I need Usopp to meet Chopper now. Genuine quick question. Is Luffy wearing Nami's coat an anime reference or a manga reference? That just feels super specific, like it's gonna make a bunch of fans super happy. Anyway, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Luffy. I really enjoyed the humor before the Bad King Smackdown began. Through all the rants about power, Luffy just starts stretching to prepare for the fight that he recognizes is coming. There's a consistent, lighthearted feel to these final battles that I really appreciate after we went so hard. I'd like a little silly fun. I still need this king to be annihilated, but it was a nice balance. Also, incorporating Princess Vivi into the fight was great thematically and visually. After Vivi's flashbacks and the ever-present promise of better leadership, I'm glad she was there to aid Luffy in the final battle. Especially when, again, Luffy's doing just fine. He's literally immune to cannonballs. It was more like she was compelled to fight as opposed to Luffy being in danger. Like she literally heard me say we need to kill this guy. I will say, after Luffy got so much help in this fight, I'm really hungry for a proper Luffy going all out fight in season 3. I'm just itching to see what a high stakes fight could look like with who Luffy is now. While the main fight is going on, the side battles balance things in great form. Sanji teaming up with Chopper became a dream come true. Despite Sanji still being confused by Chopper's shapeshifting, when they get ready to fight, Sanji's time to be monsters line just kind of went too hard. We all related to Chopper's story. Thanks, Sanji. Thanks, everybody. Sanji's spin move looked a little outdated, but honestly, this fight was more about fun after all this heartbreak, and I enjoyed the silliness. I wrote, "Rip Nami's coat." Come on, Bill, be better. Doctorine joining the action with her rifle was super fun, and it felt like it was ripped right off the page of a manga or a panel of an anime. Katie Seagal looks like she's having a blast. It felt kind of sudden that the king diverted his attention to attacking the late Doctor's pirate flag. It fit with his weaseling, technically it's a crime to attack me nonsense, so I get it. He's desperately grasping for straws, right as we get an amazing Straw Hat moment. No, that wasn't an intentional pun, but I'm keeping it in. It's clunky setup for an incredible speech from Luffy, as now everyone literally is looking up to him as he protects the flag with his body from the king's attack. Also pulling off a great anime pose with his straw hat. As satisfying as it is to see Luffy beat the hell out of the king, I loved this feeling of unity against the selfish, tyrannical glutton. Even the final blow is a team combo with Luffy and Sanji's Gum Gum Air Assault as they launch the Mouthman out a window. I do wish the king suffered more, but hey, I'm shocked Luffy knocked him out of a window. That was pretty lethal for Luffy. Drum Kingdom is saved, the magic soldiers are gone, Dr. Reen is going to stay behind to help the doctors and rebuild the kingdom. Even Dalton gets to see a new dawn for Drum. Not only is it satisfying that Ding Dong the king is gone, I liked this air of confidence that the Straw Hats can also save Alabasta like they did Drum. The Straw Hats reunite, relieved to see that Nami's okay, and sharing in the shock and excitement at discovering Chopper. I love Dalton referring to Chopper as the doctor's son again. I especially love Luffy's invitation to Chopper. Let's go be pirates together is perfectly fun and childlike, and it just filled my heart, but he can't join them. He isn't human. He isn't even a reindeer. He has a blue nose. And then Luffy screams Chopper's intrusive thoughts away, and I love it. Sometimes you need that shut up and come with us already. It was just so perfect. Again, Luffy's gonna remind him a lot of the doctor, and the doctor reminded me a lot of Luffy. It's just you could tell that Chopper needs a friend like Luffy. Chopper saying goodbye to Doctrine was surprisingly more bitter than sweet in its bittersweet tone. Like, she pushes him away, which is kind of shocking considering what they've both been through at this point. And I feel like she's faking this cruelty, maybe to be sure that Chopper really wants to go, but there's no direct reassurance in this scene. That being said, it's a perfect opportunity to see Chopper stand up for himself. Like, I'm just rooting for this little guy, and I can't tell if this aggression is important or not. Did Katie Seagal just go too hard? Like, I was stunned. Maybe I'm a little sensitive to this. While I'm still not used to the deer Chopper form, I loved the sled and the winter imagery. It made me giggle thinking of all the very One Piece Christmas decorum and imagery that I'm sure is in people's houses. We definitely deserve and earn some fun after all this tragedy and pain. I will say this about Chopper's half deer form. Luffy loves it. No one even flinches. They really do accept him for who he is. I liked that little beat. As the newest Straw Hat boards the Going Merry, we prepare to set sail to Alabasta. Chopper's excited and amazed by the ship, but also gets nervous and kind of hums to himself. Just to be comforted by Usopp. I knew it. I knew they'd get along. Yay. He reassures Chopper it's okay to be scared. Bravery is acting despite your fear, not no fear. While it's okay to be scared to leave home, he also has a home on the Going Merry, and everyone has his back. Even Doctrine, who slipped his backpack of supplies on the sled after he forgot to bring them, which is super lovely, but damn, yeah, great performance. I believed you. I thought you were super pissed at that boy. But that's, again, a me thing, and I need to, what in the dan are these magic golden balls for? Okay, fine, they're important for later. Hero Look's memorial and Chopper's goodbye is a fantastic conclusion to the season. The mysterious pink orb that he made before passing is loaded into a cannon, a weapon of war being used for hope and peace as it launches into the air and bursts forth a pink cloud, and cherry blossoms begin to fall on the winter tundra of Drum Island, even over the frozen Going Merry. Seeing everyone take in the pink petal snow with tears and wonder is fantastic and so moving. The spectacle of science and magic around them fills the people with hope, which gives me hope that this worked, dispelling their fear. It's exactly what Chopper needed as he set sail to join the Straw Hats. As his excitement was turning back into nerves and despair, here is hope. And as Chopper cries for his late father, he's comforted by Zoro, and the whole crew just lets him feel and cry. And I don't know, it was just this feeling of like being truly supported by his new family as they sail for the Grand Line in the One Piece together. And come on, the mountain became a giant cherry blossom tree. Like, okay. I love it. Shut up. Wait, hold on. Gold D Roger, as in Monkey D Luffy? What in the D's is this nuts? I tried. Okay, something about the Will of D? Okay, that seems important for later. Thanks, Katie Seagal. Is this about Luffy's allure to inspire others, or is he legitimately the Gold Roger's son? Sorry, Gold D Roger's son. I'm so confused, but also so excited. Stop. How dare you tease me? Season 3 now. Will of D's. Yay, Chopper. Cheers for Chopper. Yeah, for Tony Chopper. Yeah, Gold D Roger, Tony Chopper. I'm getting names. The little party for Chopper on the Going Merry is so cute and fun. Please don't let Chopper try the knife thing. Is he old enough for bar tricks and beverages? Get him some milk. Oats? Get him some oat milk. As my head is spinning from all of Dee's revelations, and despite all the fun, Princess Vivi is still focused on saving her kingdom next, and as she alludes to being dropped off, Luffy and the Straw Hats reaffirm that they're going to save her kingdom next. I also love this organic feeling of, hey, we helped the village, hey, we helped the country, hey, we're gonna help you next. It's perfect. I also love this vibe of, hey, it goes without saying, but if you need to hear it, I'll say it. I've come to expect that level of support from One Piece. Oh yeah, and she knows who Mr. Zero is. It turns out he's a new character? Oh, well, you made it sound like it's some sort of reveal, or someone we already knew or something. Oh, okay, his wanted poster was canceled. The only other time I think we've seen that is Mihawk, right? So he's like secretly important? As important or more important than Mihawk, which is impossible. I liked that kind of being the twist. I legitimately thought it was Smoker for a second because he had a cigar, but it was only one. What a nerd. Okay, that's the reveal. You're dang right, Miss All Sundays wanted. She's definitely wanted in my house. Whoa, okay, yep, all right. Dude, she's so young and different in this picture, and she's worth more money than Luffy. What happened? Her name's actually Nico Robin? That feels important for later. Okay, I genuinely can't wait to learn more about this in season 3. I really liked using the wanted posters against us like that. The picture is different. His bounty is canceled. After that open air, everything is possible feeling to the end of season 1, I really love this confident, we're getting a season 3. Here's the plot. Here's the goal. Here's the villains. Here's some mystery. Go. I have a lot of thoughts and theories about seasons 1 and 2 of One Piece and what it might look like moving forward, but man, that's such a great way to end this. I'm so excited for more. I really liked getting to sink my teeth into this world. Season 1 did a great job of holding my hand, and then season 2 just spun me around, let me cry, while also giving me a lot of joy. And I love seeing how this world responds to the Straw Hats and how people continue to respond to Luffy while seeing him grow. I really love Chopper's story. I'm really excited for what's next. It's gonna be weird to wait, so I don't know. Give me some ideas for videos. I don't know if I want to dive into the anime right away, or maybe I'll wait for the remake, redo, or something. I really enjoyed diving into this fandom with season 1 and season 2. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Let me know your thoughts on my thoughts in the comment section down below. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Come say hi on my gaming channel, Patreon plug, merch store plug, donate at thethirdbill.com. You get it. Links in the description as always next to all that stuff for a resource card should you or someone you know need them. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you next time I upload or go live. I hope everyone's staying safe. Thank you so much as always for watching. Remember to take care of yourselves, please.